Hello, this is a follow-up video to my previous video in which we were filtering towns and cities with drop-downs. So the first drop-down would be, in my example, it was a region, and the second drop-down was the province. So imagine we don't want a second drop-down, but instead we want them to be able to use a text search, and then the province is going to come up. So let's try to do that. Okay, so we're going to need a text field, and so the user can type in name of the province. So let's call that province search, and below that we're going to want a list. So I'm going to make a custom list, and we're going to make the list of provinces here. Right, let's sort that A to Z, and let's make this custom list a bit smaller so it's a bit easier to navigate. And let's make the title the province name. Okay, so that's going to be a list of provinces now, but we want to filter it by what the user is putting in that text field here. So we're going to add another filter, and province contains the form input province search, which is this. So now this list is going to be filtered by what the user types in here. So also what we want to do, we don't want all of our things appearing here straight away. So first the user is going to be selecting our region. So let's also put a filter here where region is equal to the region select name, which is the top drop down box there. So now as soon as they select that, it's going to filter down the list. And then secondly, it will also filter the list by whatever the user is typing here. And then finally, we want an action on the list, so that the user can select which is their province. So let's put an action on that button, update logged in user. The province will be the current province, region, province, and we can also get the region from there. Okay, that's from this collection here. If you didn't watch my previous video, please go back and watch, because that gives you an introduction to what we're trying to do. Okay, so now this button is going to update the logged in user and select the province. What we also want to do is, if they've already selected the province, we don't want this plus to be appearing, so let's change visibility, sometimes visible if logged in user province is not equal to current province. Alright, so on the one that we've selected, you won't be able to click the plus button again. And then on top of that, let's have another icon that's just going to show that it is the selected province that they've clicked on. So this one will be sometimes visible if the current province is equal to the logged in user province. Okay, now we want them to fill in the region first, so let's get our visibility in order. So the text input here will be visible if the region select is not empty, and then have the list also sometimes visible if the region select is not empty. Okay, and what we did, we set up a button to update the user here. Because the list is updating the user in this case, we don't need the action on the button. We've got the action on the list. So let's delete that, and it's just going to link to the next screen where it shows the user's region and province. Let's test it out. Okay. So we've got the drop down for the region. So let's pick a region, let's say Northeastern. And as you can see, because the custom visibility here, these have appeared because this box is no longer empty. And looking at it, yes, this is all the northeastern provinces, and we've got plus buttons so we can add that selection to the user, the logged in user data. Now let's say we want to filter down. We may have a long list in some cases, so let's say we're looking for Con Ken. So I type it in, and there anything with Con in has come up. You've got Con Ken, Nakhon, Phnom, etc. Okay, so let's say we're trying to pick Con Ken. Okay, the tick arrow has come out of place here. Now let's look at the reason for that, and quite simply, it's because I've tried here to put the icons on top of each other. It's usually quite messy and doesn't always work, so let's just put them next to each other like that, so we're going to avoid that problem. Thirdly, we still had from the last video, I had some custom visibility here. The button is only visible based on the previous drop down, which we've deleted now. So let's change that to the logged in user province is not equal to empty. So as soon as they've picked a province from the list and hit the plus button, that should appear. So let's just try that one more time. Okay, let's pick a region, BKK. Not many provinces in that region, but let's say we're looking for Sumatra Khan. Let's add that. You can see now the tick hasn't been thrown off the list completely, and then we can select that. And you can see it has updated the user successfully. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. Any questions, please ask.